Hello, my friends. This is Jose Miguel Rodriguez, and this is my fair tale for you. Leon O and the Three Evil Lions. Once upon a time, there was a strong boy called Leon O. He was on the way to see his friend Tigro when he decided to take a shortcut through El Palmar. It wasn't long before Leon O got lost. He looked around, but all that he could see were trees. Nervously, he felt into his bag for his favorite toy, Snarf, but Snarf was nowhere to be found. Leon O began to panic. He felt sure he had packed Snarf. To make matters worse, he was starting to feel hungry. Unexpectedly, he saw an evil lion dressed in a black armor disappearing into the trees. How odd, thought Leon O. For he want of anything better to do, he decided to follow the peculiarly dressed lion. Perhaps it could tell him the way out of the forest. Eventually, Leon O reached a clearing. He found himself surrounded by houses made from different sorts of food. There was a house made from tomatoes, a house made from pizzas, a house made from hot dogs, and a house made from soda. Leon could feel his tummy rumbling. Looking at the houses did nothing to ease his hunger. "Hello," he called. "Is anybody there?" Nobody replied. Leon O looked at the roof on the closest house and wondered if it would be rude to eat somebody else's chimney. Obviously, it would be impolite to eat a whole house, but perhaps it would be considered acceptable to nibble to the odd fixture or lick the odd filling in a time of need. A cackle broke through the air, giving Leon O a fright. A witch jumped into the space in front of the houses. She was carrying a cage. In that cage was Snarf. The witch just shrugged. "Give Snarf back," cried Leon O. "Not on your knees," said the witch. "At least let Snarf out of that cage." Before she could reply, three evil lions rushed in from a footpath on the other side of the clearing. Leon O recognized the one in the black armor that he had seen earlier. The witch seemed to recognize him too. "Hello, big lion," said the witch. "Good morning," the lion noticed Snarf. "Who is this?" "That's Snarf," explained the witch. "Oh, Snarf would look lovely in my house." "Give it to me," demanded the lion. The witch shook her head. "Snarf is staying with me." Excuse me," Leon interrupted. "Snarf lives with me, and not in a cage." Big Lion ignored him. "Is there nothing you'll trade?" he asked the witch. The witch thought for a moment, then said, "I do like to be entertained. I'll release him to anybody who can eat a whole front door." Big Lion looked at the house made from soda and said, "No problem. I could eat an entire house made from soda if I wanted to." "That's nothing," said the next lion. "I could eat two houses." "There's no need to show off," said the witch. "Just eat one front door and I'll let you have a snarf." Leon-O was feeling very worried. He didn't want the witch to give Snarf to Big Lion. He didn't think Snarf would like living with an evil lion away from his house and all his other toys. The other two lions watched a while Big Lion put on his bib and withdraw a knife and fork from his pocket. "I'll eat this whole house," said Big Lion. "Just you watch." Big Lion pulled off a corner of the front door of the house made from pieces. He gulped down smiling and went back for more, and more, and more. Eventually Big Lion started to get bigger, just a little bit bigger at first, but after a few more full of pizzas, he grew to the size of a large snowball, and he was every bit as round. "I don't feel too good," said Big Lion. Suddenly he started to roll. He'd grown so round that he could no longer balance. "Help!" he cried, as he rolled off down a slope into the forest. Big Lion never finished eating the front door made from pizzas, and Snarf remained trapped in the witch cage. Average Lion stepped up and approached the house made from hot dogs. "I'll eat this whole house," said Average Lion. "Just you watch." Average Lion pulled off a corner of the front door of the house made from hot dogs. She gulped down, smiling, and went back for more, and more, and more. After a while, Average Lion started to look a little queasy. She grew greener and greener. A woodcutter walked into the clearing. "What's this bush doing here?" he asked. "I'm not a bush, I'm a lion," said Average Lion. "It talks," exclaimed the woodcutter. Those talking bushes are the worst kind. I'd better take it away before somebody gets hurt." "No, wait!" cried Average Lion as the woodcutter picked her up. But the woodcutter ignored her cries and carried the lion away under his arm. Average Lion never finished eating the front door made from hot dogs, and Snarf remained trapped in the witch cage. Little Lion stepped up and approached the house made from soda. "I'll eat this whole house," said Little Lion. "Just you watch." Little Lion pulled off a corner of the front door of the house made from soda. He gulped down, smiling, and went back for more, and more, and more. After 5 or 6 platefuls, Little Lion started to fidget uncomfortably on the spot. He stopped eating soda for a moment, then grabbed another forkful. But before he could eat it, there came an almighty roar. A bottom burst louder than a rocket taking off, toppled the Little Lion into the sky. "Ah!" cried Little Lion. "I'm scared of height." Little Lion was never seen again. Little Lion never finished eating the front door made from soda, and Snarf remained trapped in the witch's cage. "That's it," said the witch. "I win. I get to keep Snarf." "Not so fast," said Leon-O. "There is still one front door to go. The front door of the house made from tomatoes, and I haven't had a turn yet." "I don't have to give you a turn," laughed the witch. "My game, my rules." The woodcutter's voice carried through the forest. "I think you should give him a chance. It's only fair." "Fine," said the witch, "but you saw what happened to the lions. He won't last long." "I'll be right back," said Leon-O. "What?" said the witch. "Where's your sense of impatience? I thought you wanted Snarf back." Leon-O ignored the witch and gathered a hefty pile of sticks. He came back to the clearing and started a small campfire. Carefully he broke off a piece of the door of the house made from tomatoes and toasted it over the fire. Once it had cooked and cooled just a little, he took a bite. He quickly devoured the whole piece. Leon sat down on a nearby log. "You fell," cackled the witch. "You were supposed to eat the whole door." "I haven't finished," explained Leon-O. "I'm just waiting for my food to go down." When Leon-O's food had digested, he broke off another piece of the door made from tomatoes. Once more he toasted his food over the fire and waited for it to cool just a little. He ate it at a leisurely pace, then waited for it to digest. Eventually, after several sittings, Leon-O was down to the final piece of the door made from tomatoes. Carefully he toasted it and allowed it to cool just a little. He finished his final course. Leon-O had eaten the entire front door of the house made from tomatoes. The witch stamped her foot angrily. "You must have tricked me," she said. "I don't reward cheatings." "I don't think so," said a voice. "I was the woodcutter." He walked back into the clearing, carrying his axe. "This little boy won't be fair and square. Now hand over Snarf, or I will chop your broomstick in half." The witch looked horrified. She grabbed her broomstick and placed it behind her. Then, huffing, she opened the door of the cage. Leon-O hurried over and grabbed Snarf, checking that his favorite toy was all right. Fortunately, Snarf was unharmed. Leon-O thanked the woodcutter, grabbed a quick souvenir, and hurried on to meet Tigro. It was starting to get dark. When Leon-O got to Tigro's house, his friend threw his arms around him. "I was so worried," cried Tigro. "You are very late." As Leon-O described his day, he could tell that Tigro didn't believe him. So he grabbed a napkin from his pocket. "What's that?" asked Tigro. Leon-O unwrapped a doorknob made from pieces. "Pudding," he said. Tigro almost fell off his chair. The end.